Over there!
We can't let him get away!
Too late, fool! You will not escape! Us? What in the name of... Gary?
I'm sorry, okay? I hadn't prepped this part of the dungeon yet. I haven't had the time.
But you don't suffer from this, do you? For more than 2 years, you've helped us to enhance our tools, grow our map libraries, and given us a warm welcome in the community of map makers and game masters. We are honored to be part of this community, and all we can say is thank you.
Bring it on.
Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Till. I'm the founder of DGNFOG, and this is another episode of our weekly community stream where we talk about updates, patches, features, and stuff that is happening here at DGNFOG. As always, if you have any questions, if you want to ask something, don't be shy, type your question in the chat. If you want to make my life easier, put a big question in front of it. That will allow me to find it easier. And I will do my best to answer your questions. So this week we have released even another patch to our online battle map editor following our big update that was patch 5.6.0. Today we have released 5.6.0.1, which is basically adding to the stuff that we have released yesterday, and we will be talking about that. Also, last week we have released the first core patch to Deus. So Deus has also received a patch, and your Deus self-updater should have already caught that patch and updated to version 0.2.1. There's a lot of zeros, points, and twos and ones. So long story short, let's talk about the recent battle map update. And then we can also tackle the Deus update. Last week we have released the new feature, the new premium feature, which is the room templates. And we have also released, thanks to Andy, who sneakily added that to our release build, we've also released color filters. So we took the feedback that we've got and the support tickets and everything that we've received over the last week, and we've worked all the updates and improvements and changes into the new patch, so 5.6.1. And now we're going to look at those changes. So let me go in my screen share mode. Here we go. Pardon me. So the thing that we've introduced in the last patch was the map coloring options, which you can now apply to your map, to your stage, and that will add color filters. So if I turn that on, the whole map gets automatically modified by a color filter, and we can change that. So we can adjust the blending, the contrast, the brightness, and we can pick from a ton of different filters. Now what we've added here was that we have now added those favorites, so you can now create no, I don't want this one as a favorite. Let me just see, black and white contrast. I think I want that one as a favorite, and probably the low contrast old. So once I add them to my favorites, I now have them in here. Is an easy way to access them quickly. And as you can see, if I apply that, or if I can apply that, and I play around with contrast and brightness, I can quickly turn my map into a black and white version, or as I had before, in a warm version or a sunset version or a night version of my maps. So I can do all of that. And we have added the favorite system in here, but we've taken the whole, let's reset the colors here. But we've also added the same thing for our fonts, which means that now when you select a font and you click on the font selection, you not only have the full Google font library with over 1,000 different fonts in there, you also have a way to add them to your favorites. So whatever you do, what was it called? Stencil, I believe. Stencil, there we have one. So I could pick that font, and if I like it, so I always have a preview the second I select it. And if I like it, I will add it to my favorites, and there I have it. Then Chinsel, was it Chinsel? I can't remember. We have the Fonticont icons here. So for example, the Celtic Druid would be a nice one. And if I like that, if I want to use that regularly, I can add it to my favorites as well. So that was one of the things that we wanted to add, but we couldn't make it right into the patch last week. We've added that now, and again, if you have any feedback, if you want to let us know something, perfect, just go to our Discord, tell us through Discord, or send us a ticket through our support. As you might have noticed with the last patch, we have also introduced a report a problem, a bug reporting directly in the editor, so you don't have to leave the editor and report it through the dashboard, but you can now report problems directly through that. Please use that for bug reporting rather than for adding feature wish lists. We are going to introduce a new way to suggest things to the features wish list soon. Right now, the best way to suggest new features is through Discord. But stay tuned. There will be an update probably this week, latest next week, when we will have a proper like feature logging system. AJ Meyer says, thank you very much, Till. I learned so much from your streams. You know the tools and I know how to use them, but watching you gives me so much more insight as in a design process. Thank you. That's exactly what we're doing this for, to make sure that all of you not only see how the tool evolves, but also get a little insight in how it evolves. What are we doing here? Right. I need to look at the patch notes because they are quite extensive. So next, as you can see, we had a little help icon down here, and apparently a question mark was scaring you a lot, so no one clicked on it. We have changed that now into a little keyboard icon, which explains that you can see all the keyboard shortcuts in here. So if you're wondering what shortcuts can I use, specifically written to each tool, so the shortcuts update based on which tool I have selected. And there you go. So maybe you like our keyboard better than you liked our question mark. We will see. Colors, blood spotches. Yes. So that is my, for those of you who don't know what this little inside joke is, whenever I want to add a little texture or to add a little finesse to the textures, I'm using a blood spot, make it black and very transparent and add it somewhere. If you want to see me doing that, join one of my Welcome to the Mapnest streams every Thursday at 7:30 UTC, 7 p.m. 30 UTC, where I'm building maps in DGNFOG. So coming back to the patch notes, we've changed that the hide all lights this toggle here that allows me to toggle on or off if the light should be applied to the map, as well as I think I don't have any ghosting, like the ghosting switch here. Those two switches, they were not saved in your map, but they are now. So if you toggle that and you save your map, once you bring it back, the state remains that way. So you don't always have to toggle it back on or back off whenever you exit the map. This state is now baked into your map save file. Yes. Okay. So there was another change with token sight range that is also now a persistent setting and will no longer be reset when toggled off. I've already showed you the new font window and the new color grading window with the favorite system. The tint and colorize options have been added to the tokens in the asset manager. This was highly requested from you, and it took some time until we finally managed to take that ticket. But now it is there. So if you are managing your tokens in your asset manager, these values are now saved and are part of your presets, so you can do that. Since I'm seeing that, there is a little note to be handed out, at least for this week. We're going to fix it within the next 14 days. When you are using the reset tool, so there's a reset link when your map crashes, and in case your map crashes and you reset, you also reset your favorites at the moment. We are aware that this is not ideal and we're working on it, but right now the reset button will also reset your favorites. So just keep that in mind. Shortcuts menu, yes, the keyboard, we've already talked about that. We had quite a few things where we needed optimization on the room templates, especially when it comes to tagging. So this was the other big feature that was introduced last week, which are the room templates. Let me just quickly get rid of all those things. Whenever you draw a room, you can now save this room as a template with all the things that are inside. So that could be a very simple shape like the circular room. And once I place it, it is going to be added as a proper room. And I can rework that. Where was I? But you can also use fully filled rooms with all the assets in there. And if I would like to place my orc hut here, it will be added here. Those palm trees here are above walls. That's why they are still intercepting my rooms here, or interjecting with them. And I might have locked the palm trees, which is fine. The thing is, those room templates, they stay editable completely, fully. So whatever room you create, if you feel like this is a room that I'm going to use more often, make it a room template. But there were a few things with tagging, like comma wasn't creating a new tag, or pressing enter there was a way where you could create empty tags. That's sorted now. So empty tags are no longer able to be created. Doors were not updated. That was resolved. Rotating room. Okay. So I will not go through the whole bug fix list. But generally speaking, a lot of the bugs that you've reported within the past couple of weeks have been addressed and are now hopefully resolved. You will let us know soon enough. We had a few issues with campaigns, and some of the campaign bugs are fixed now. So especially concealed items are now revealed properly when Fog of War is disabled. And for the remote player window, the move token option now properly closes the drop-down menu. There is still a bug where some of your players might only see a black map. We have an idea of where it may come from, but it needs a little more time to investigate and to fix. So expect a campaigns bug fixing update also within the probably next week or the week after. Um, yeah, so those are the fixes. So it's mainly just polishing, convenience updates, and bug fixes from whatever you have reported. If you want to report a bug, use the report a bug tool up here, or send us an email to support@dungeonfog.com, and we will take care of that. If you have a question, if you're not sure whether or not you have encountered a bug, the best place to go is to our Discord, because there you will you're able to ask the community if someone else has a problem with that, and also get in touch with the developers and report it there. Although we still always ask you, if you have a bug, report it to our bug reporting tool, because there we can collect those things and make them tickets that we can work off. Right. In regards to Deus, let me just quickly. Let me just quickly bring up the Deus patch notes. So in Deus, we've released our first patch to the self-updater, and for now we haven't had any problems reporting that the self-updater didn't receive the update, so this looks quite good. Left and right, so we had a problem with Shift, Control, and Alt on the left and right side of the keyboard. That has been resolved. We generally improved the keyboard input handling. We've added some updates to the value fields, where, for example, rotation didn't stop at 360 degrees but started to count onward, so that has been fixed. Panning and zooming speed have been stabilized and fixed, because there were some issues with that. So especially if you had a problem with your mouse wheel panning or zooming, we hope we have addressed that problem. And if you can check, test, and verify that, that would be very helpful. We had a problem, we had some reports for GPU overusage, which has been fixed too. We have increased multi-threaded logging for our error reports, which just means that it is easier for us to track your error reports. And we did a minor improvement where we said whenever you launch the editor in Deus, the selection tool is automatically active, because many people were just like, they were bringing up the map, starting to click around, but nothing happened, and no one realized that there was no tool active at the moment. So we always start with the selection tool active at the moment. So that's Deus. I had a meeting today with the Deus team, and there are quite a few things that we want to tackle next, and next means within the next 14 days. So I think, what do we have, the 6th now? So in the last week of April, there will be definitely a new Deus update. And in regards to DGNFOG, the battle map editor, the next things on our roadmap are, now that we have the room templates, we want to make prop templates. So that's going to be next. We're going to tackle this next, alongside with just general bug fixing and still improvements and patches. But the next big feature in terms of big thing is going to be that you will be able, so for example, this one, let's have a look at that. I really like this group. I'm really fond of that. I'm using that as often as I can because it looks amazing. But it's a combination of different props. Hi Trash Loot. Well, happy cooking then. Don't burn your food. The thing is, this is an amazing little prop group that I have created, and I feel like I could reuse that a lot of times, like everywhere. On every forest map, I would like to have this little mushroom growing shrubbery contained little log. The problem is I made it on this map. I would have to redo it completely on a separate map. So what we said, now that we have the room templates and we can use the room template mechanic, we can basically create the same thing for props. So if you have a prop group, you will be able to create a prop template out of that, and then reuse it whenever you like it. And I think the coolest part about that is that after we've released that feature, we will start thinking about how you can share those prop templates with the community. Because I think this is a good example. So this one here is a good example of how you could combine props to create a new prop. But we haven't even started yet talking about how you could combine that with little brushes and hiding the terrain and things like that, which also works in a prop group. So I think you as a community will very quickly come up with amazing prop combinations, so prop templates, that you would like to share with others. So step number one, we're going to create this prop template tool in DGNFOG, which will be only for yourself for the beginning. And then we will extend it together with the room templates to create something like a template library where you can share most likely map templates, room templates, and prop templates. So that's up, and we're almost finished with the marketplace, which is good. So keep an eye out. Our marketplace beta will launch this month. When exactly very much depends on how fast I am adding all those assets from Keora and the other artists to the library. So that is going to be on my shoulders, which means that I probably have to add 400, 600, 800 assets into our library and tag them, flag them, name them. So that's the only bottleneck at the moment. The marketplace itself is almost ready. So it's going to be this month. I still can't promise if it's going to be next week or the week after or at the end. Yeah, pop it and sip it. I would love to, but it's a little bit more complicated. However, we are going to start with the GM nodes rework probably right after the prop group update, and I think the prop group update will not take longer than probably 14 days. So in April we will already start with the GM nodes. There is no time estimate yet on how long that takes. So this can be a matter of a week or a matter of 2 months. We don't know yet. I will, as soon as I know, I will tell you. But in terms of roadmap, we're looking at finishing up our room template, prop template, work package right now as we speak. Then we will tackle the GM nodes, and then we will finally start working on the things that you voted for, which is the walls and paths tool, followed by the advanced room templates, followed by the advanced room drawing methods, and the rest that you've voted on. Wow! Sorry, that was a lot of info dump. I think I'm done. That's it. That's everything that happened. Let me just quickly think what else happened. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little surprise from last week when we introduced our little April's Fool. We had so much fun producing it. I can't tell you how much fun we had coming up with the idea. And I must say thank you, Bodhi, because I had the idea of dancing your map as a little April's joke. I had that already 2 years ago. But with so many things going on, this needs a little bit prep time to do it. And I almost forgot about it this year again. And then Bodhi came and said, Till, do we want to do an April's Fool this year? And I was like, yes, yes, finally. And then he sat down and he created basically the whole framework with the website, the news page that we've created. And he kicked my ass so hard that I really sat down and I reached out to Guy and I reached out to the team and I said, hey, who wants to join us in a little video shoot where we are dancing the maps? And thank you, Sam. Samsarat says, that was such an intense video. I was convinced way too long into it, LOL. Yes, I had so much fun cutting the video and making sure that we're trying to keep the poker face as long as we can so that it really works as an April's Fool. There were 6 or 7 drafts on cutting the video before I was like, yeah, okay, I feel like we can at least trick some people. Yeah, there are way more. I think probably maybe I find the time to cut some of the other outtakes in there because it was. I mean, honestly, there's another just big kiss going to Guy Sklenders from How to Be a Great GM. I reached out to him and I said, hey Guy, we're doing a little April's Fool and would you be interested in helping us? He was instantly up to it. He said, yes, I would love to. And when I told him about the idea, he was, okay, give me a few days. I need to order something. And I think he really bought his outfit specifically for the video. And then he sent me, and you can imagine how I felt when I received the video and I first opened it. It was basically the same reaction that you had. I was laughing to tears and I was like, oh my God, he's so amazing. Also, Bodhi danced for it and he, like, the whole thing, the outfit Bodhi had. Bodhi's our user interface designer, and he's the one who's doing the outfit, and his throwaway his headband thing at the end was amazing. And Guy, he's so cool. Thomas also did a dance. Thomas did an amazing dance, and understandably, I asked everyone on the team who would like to put himself in front of the internet doing such a stupid thing. So some of them said, I don't think that I have the courage for that. I don't want to do that, which is fine. But it was such a joy. And I was spending my whole April the 1st sitting there and reading comments because I was like, oh my God, oh yeah. So thank you very much for all the responses, and I hope you had such a good laugh as we had. Now we need to do another one for next year. Yeah. All right, guys. If there aren't any more questions, I think we can close it for today because that's it. In terms of announcements, keep an eye out on our new suggestion tool that will be coming this week. There will be a Discord announcement and definitely a tweet or a social media announcement once we have a new suggestion logging feature where you can post your ideas and collect them and rate ideas that others have posted, so you can create a little sorting for us where we can learn and understand what you really would like to see next. So keep an eye out for that. On Thursday, I will be doing another Welcome to the Madness, where I will be most likely working on a different map. So I will not be working on the Fane of the Night Serpent map, but we will see. I don't know yet. In other news, let me see. We have the Circle of World Builders coming up. So There is going to be another Circle of World Builders Masterclass. It's going to be in June. The World Anvil, Keora, How to Be a Great GM, and DGNFOG will again join forces to do a masterclass on, I think it's campaign building. We're still prepping stuff, we're still finishing stuff, so there will be announcements out by the end of this month. And from the Circle of World Builder, what do we have here? Well, Anvil seems to be still running the Kobold Press, the Peculiar Plants Challenge, where you can win a bundle of Kobold Press goodies and a publication in the World Building magazine. And Keora has now updated his Patreon tiers, where he officially supports through Patreon. He officially supports Wonder Draft and Dungeon Draft packages, as well as Foundry and VTT Premium packages. And there might be news on that end from our side as well soon. So yeah, that's it. Those were the announcements. Happy cooking. Have a good dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever it is that you will be having. I'm going to have dinner now. And as always, stay safe, stay legal, Damien, stay healthy, everyone, and happy map making. See you. Bye.